There we are. At least I think. Hello. Hello, everyone. I know exactly what you're thinking. You don't have to say it. I understand. You're asking two questions right now. Why didn't they stream last week? And where's Lisa? And I get it. I understand. I'd be asking the same questions if I were you. I am going to do what I've been doing the last couple of weeks with you and tell you a little story. And that story is going to answer both of those questions. Thank you, Melissa Jeswald and Furloughs Aquatics. Everybody's saying audio and video is good. Very, very grateful for that. Hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully Elon takes care of me tonight. Okay, listen. I got to tell you about what has happened over the last week. Nothing tragic, just very frustrating and very taxing, and has been extraordinarily exhausting. And again, it will answer the question of where is Lisa. Unfortunately, she will not be with us tonight. She is about an hour away from here. And I'm going to explain exactly why that is. But first, before I do that, while we're waiting for people to come in here, and while we wait for the Avengers to assemble, got something new Saturday. As a matter of fact, I remember when we got it. I hit up my boy Jadron Aquatics because I like giving away stickers when people order from us on our website. We pack up the order, we put a sticker in there. Most people probably throw them away. I don't know, but I like putting them in there. And I've been trying to do different ones every single time when we get new stickers made. And this time went with the new logo. And there it is. Hopefully the lighting is shining off of it and stuff like that. But there it is. There we go. Now the focus is in. The new beta logo. And Jadron kind of switched up the text. It's a long story, but yeah, real happy about that. If you order from us, you will get one of these while supplies last. We do not ever guarantee that we're going to give stickers. We like to do it, but sometimes we run out. We get like 3,500 of them at a time, and they go pretty quick. And a lot of the reason why they go so fast is because whenever Lisa packs orders, she puts those stickers on the boxes. And I'm like, babe, we're going to run out of them really fast. So you got to put them on just give them one on the inside. But anyway, Lisa does what she wants to do. So, all right. For those of you that don't know, I mean, I've only been talking about it for how long now? Forever. Lisa and I moved. We bought a house and property down in North Carolina, 3.5 hours away from King George, where we were before, hence the KG in KG Tropicals. A lot of people are watching this probably going, oh, because we get asked that all the time. What does the KG stand for? It's definitely not your initials. Got people in here from Australia. Wow, how about that? Welcome, Andrew Williams, all the way from literally across the world. So this whole thing, since we bought this house, has been a huge challenge and we didn't realize how much of a challenge it was. I'm not going to go through all of the details because I did that on the last stream. I talked about when we moved all of the fish down here, and I had to stay down here for 2 weeks by myself, which was not fun. But this all starts 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. I think it's 5 weeks ago. It doesn't really matter. Either way, it's still the same. It's still the same story. So we're going to say 5 weeks. Why not? We decided to get ahead of the move. We've got 5 kids. We've got a bunch of animals. The kids don't all live with us, but we still have a lot of their stuff, which isn't fair. But we have them. We have all these animals. We have a business. We have me. We have Lisa. We lived in a large house in King George. We're not rich people. It's just that's the house that was available that could accommodate us, and the rent was doable. It was 5,600 square feet. There's a few people that have been to that house. Corey was there. Rack was there. And there's others that I feel very bad that I'm forgetting now. But miss you, Rack Cross, by the way. It's a big house. It was a very big house. And when you have a big house, you fill it full of a bunch of stuff. We didn't realize that we were doing that. We're not hoarders or anything like that, but we accumulated a lot of stuff, and we very much overestimated, or should I say underestimated, the amount of stuff that we have. And do you like the fact that I slid the dog bed over so that you can see my dogs? There's Mags. Mags, what are you doing? Ike is over here on the other bed. I don't know why he's not with her. They're usually like that. But anyway, 5 weeks ago, I think it was 5 weeks ago, we decided to get ahead of this move. We said, hey, we got to go down there. Lisa and I were coming down here together. We said, let's take a truck, let's get a U-Haul, and let's load it full of stuff and get ahead of this move so that it's not as bad when we do the actual move. We got a 20-foot U-Haul truck and packed it. I mean, you could not have put a paperclip in that truck after we packed it. It was jam-packed full of everything. Not everything, obviously. I mean, you know, we had things that they needed back there and we needed, but we put as much stuff as we could in there. Brought it down here, unloaded it, had a bunch of other stuff to do that weekend here at the house. And it was a great weekend. You know, we got ahead of the move. And then you fast forward the weekend after that. I'm getting my weekends all mixed up here. It was 4 weekends ago. The next weekend was the weekend of the business and the fish tanks, which I talked about in great detail last week on the live stream. I think the entire hour and a half was on that. So if you want to know all of the details about that, I go into great detail there and explain that. If you're about to move fish tanks or something like that and you want to have a little idea of what that's all about, that live stream will help you out. But also this Sunday's video is going to help you out a lot too, because I'm going to show that whole process. The video is not going to have us moving the business because that's boring. Nobody wants to see us carrying cases of tidal filters and shark filters. I'm going to talk about the Shark Pro too, by the way. Ooh, I'm so excited about that. But nobody wants to see that. You want to see the tanks being moved. And so that's all that is going to be in the video coming up on Sunday. But the very short version of that story is, and again, this is 3 weekends ago. Yeah, 3 weekends ago. Friday, we moved the business. We brought it all down here. That's all of the product that we sell on the website, not the betas, but all of the dry goods. We got it all unloaded in the pouring down rain. We drove back up to Virginia, got home at about 2 a.m. And then the next day was the fish tanks. We got as many fish tanks as we could. There were 7 tanks that were left behind. A few nano tanks, a 75 and a 90 gallon got left behind simply because there was no space for them anywhere. We don't stack tanks on top of tanks in a truck when you're moving them. So we got as many as we could in there, and that was it. And then drove them down here. We had Furloughs Aquatics, who's in here with us today. We had Whips World, who's also in here with us. They met us down here. Eddie was with them. And a whole bunch of other people were here to help us move the tanks into the fish house. We were up till 3 a.m. getting the tanks put together, getting them filled up, and almost losing the discus, which was a nightmare. You want to, again, know the details of that. Watch last week's stream. I don't want to bore you telling the same stories over and over and over again. So that was probably one of the longest weekends of our life. But we got the business moved down here. We got as many fish tanks as we could moved down here. And then I stayed because somebody had to take care of the fish. Somebody had to run the business. I stayed here. Lisa went back to Virginia. The following weekend, I went back up to Virginia. It was the first time going the other way. So you have to understand, since March 1st, every weekend since March 1st, I have traveled down here, and Lisa has traveled down here a lot of those weekends with me to work on this place. It's been exhausting, worth it, but exhausting. that weekend, after the weekend after we moved the tanks and moved the fish and all of that, which would have been the weekend after the last stream that I did, I came back up here for, I went back up there for our son's graduation party, which was actually the weekend before graduation, because we were moving and we didn't want to do it after the graduation. So that weekend was probably the slowest weekend of the entire 2, 3, and however many months. Had a nice party. A lot of family came by, friends came by. It was beautiful. It was a wonderful graduation party. Then last Thursday, a week ago today, I went back up there again. So I went up there for the weekend, came back down here, ran the business, and then Thursday, went back up there. And that was because that was the actual graduation, was last Thursday. A week ago today, we were sitting in Fred Nat Stadium, which is an affiliate of the Washington Nationals. Newsflash, I'm a huge Washington Nationals fan. I bet you would have never guessed. It is one of their minor league affiliates, the Fredericksburg Nationals. At Rustic Nashville, what are you doing? That came through twice. Is that a glitch? My goodness gracious, girl. You spoil us enough already. I'll get to you in a second. But it was a really cool graduation ceremony because it was outdoors. It was warm. It wasn't raining. And we were, and we got to watch our youngest of 5 graduate, which was really cool. Friday was the move. And this is where everything that's not aquariums and business was to be moved down here. Now, Lisa will tell you this is a flaw of mine. And I would tell you that what she does is a flaw. But I am the forever optimist when it comes to things going on. I'm the one that's always like, it's going to be fine. And Lisa's the one that's always saying, the sky is falling. This is horrible. I went into Friday and I said, we're going to get this all loaded up in one trip and we're going to head down there and we're going to unload, and it's not going to be a big deal. The idea was we load the truck up on Friday, we bring it down here to North Carolina, and we unload it on Saturday. No problem. Sweet. Lisa was going to be up there Saturday to get like the final cleaning done on the house and get it ready to turn back into the wonderful woman that we were renting it from. And that it didn't work out quite as well as I thought it was going to. I had reserved a 26-foot U-Haul truck. They did not have a 26-foot U-Haul truck for me, which was a real bummer. But they said, hey, we're going to take care of you. We got a 15-footer and a 12-foot trailer. All right, that's fine. 15 feet plus 12-foot trailer, that's 27 feet. That's more space than a 26-foot. That should be fine. Well, it's not. The trailers from U-Haul are great, but they're smaller than the trucks because the trucks are really tall. The trailers are only like 6 feet tall. I'm still getting a notice up here. I hope everything's okay. It says that you might be experiencing buffering, but the chat's still going, so maybe that's not happening. Well, I got the 15-foot truck and the trailer, pulling a trailer behind the U-Haul, which is a little scary. We got that all loaded up on Friday, and it wasn't even close to fitting all of the stuff in the truck. I mean, all of the stuff that we had. Like I said, we had a lot more junk than we thought we did. So we had this genius idea. I don't know why we thought that this was going to work, but we had a whole army of people helping us load everything up on Friday. And then Lisa and I had the bright idea that we were just going to come down here Friday night because we didn't get everything loaded up. We're going to come down here Friday night. We're going to unload the truck ourselves, just the two of us, and then drive back up Friday night, get the get the truck loaded the rest of the way on Saturday, and then we'll come down here and we'll be fine. It's no big deal. I have to keep the truck for an extra day, but it is what it is. The bad idea was, there was two bad ideas. One was the fact that Lisa and I were going to unload the truck entirely ourselves. And two was that we were going to be able to do that and drive back up Friday night. We ended up getting here to North Carolina with the truck loaded, just the two of us. We got here at about 9:30 at night. Thankfully, it wasn't raining. And it got to be about 11:30. We had the trailer completely emptied out, and we were about halfway through the truck. And I said, listen, this was a miraculous moment in my marriage because this never happens. I put my foot down. I never get to do this. I said, listen, by the time we get done unloading this truck, it's going to be 1 o'clock in the morning. And there's no way I'm driving that truck with that trailer back to Virginia at 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, and getting home at 4. I'm not doing that. I'm just not. So what's going to happen is, no, don't be weird here, folks. This is literally what I said to her. I said, just be warned. I said, this is what's going to happen. And this is exactly how I said it too. I said, listen, woman, this is what's going to happen. We're going to finish unloading this truck, and it's probably going to be about 1 o'clock in the morning by the time we're done. What's going to happen after that is you are going to come in this house, you're going to get naked, and you're going to go upstairs and go to bed. Or you're going to take a shower and go to bed. Now, the reason, again, don't be weird. The reason why I said that is because I said, listen, you don't have anything here. So you're going to have to drop your clothes. I will take them. I will wash them for you because I'm a good husband. While you're in the bath or in the shower, whatever you're going to do, I'll put them in the washer, and then I'll put them in the dryer, and then we'll go to bed, and then we'll get up early tomorrow morning, and we'll drive back up to Virginia. That's what we're doing. Usually that doesn't go well for me when I say that. Usually it's, okay, that's what you want to do, but let me tell you what we're actually going to do. That's not what happened this time. She kind of just went, okay. I was shocked, but that's how it worked. So that's what happened. We ended up washing our clothes that night. My clothes were here, so it was just hers so that she could wear the same clothes the next day. We had to. I mean, it was 100 degrees that day in Virginia and here. So yeah, her clothes needed to be washed. So that's what happened. We went to bed. We got up, crack of dawn, Saturday morning, went back up, and I was in a good mood. I was like, hey, this is going to be fine. We're going to get everything else loaded up. We're going to get it down here. We'll keep the truck an extra day. We'll unload on Sunday. No big deal. I was wrong again. With the 15-foot truck, the Dodge Ram that I have, which, I mean, it's a 6-foot bed, and the 12x8 trailer, we packed it up full. Couldn't have put one of these stickers in that truck. It was packed so tight. And damn if it still wasn't not all cleaned out of the house. We still had stuff up there. Most frustrating thing we've ever done. But again, I try to handle things in stride. I'm like, hey, listen, this is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We can't fit anything more in there. There are no U-Hauls. I can't just say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go rent another smaller truck, Lisa. You can drive that one. I'll drive. You can't do that. I mean, U-Hauls are really hard to get right now. So we're going to have to come back again next weekend, which would be this weekend coming up. We were frustrated. We were tired. We were burnt out. But what else are we going to do? So we brought them back here again. We got here late Saturday night. Thankfully, we were just like, forget it. We're just going to unload the truck on Sunday, which is exactly what we did. And then about halfway through the day on Sunday, Lisa said, okay, listen, I don't want to go to the house again next weekend. I do not. Every weekend that we have had for the last almost 3 months has been occupied like this. We've been traveling back and forth. I don't want to do that again. I want to go during the week and get the rest of the stuff. And there was quite a bit of stuff left too. I can't believe it. I mean, And so I said, okay, fine. That's exactly what we'll do. So yesterday, we rented another U-Haul. We went up there, loaded it all the way up. Again, U-Hauls are very, very hard to get right now. Go on uhaul.com and try to reserve a truck. It's tough. One of the reasons why I was able to get the trucks the weekends before was because I knew a guy, and I've rented from them so many times. They wanted to help me out. So that's a good question, Regina Phalanges. When is your lease up in Virginia? June 1st. So we had time to do all of this. It wasn't like an emergency, had to be out that weekend. So Lisa said, let's go Wednesday. That's our slowest work day as far as keepfishkeeping.com. Wednesday is the day of the week that we get the least amount of orders. So it'll be no problem. We'll go up there Wednesday, get a truck, load it up again, and for the final time, and then we'll be done with this whole thing. I said, okay. Went on uhaul.com, not a truck to be found. The only truck that I could get was in Richmond, Virginia, an hour and a half away from the house in Virginia. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. At least it's just a little bit off the path on the way home, on the way back up there. So yesterday morning we got up early. We went up there. Actually, it wasn't even early because we couldn't pick the truck up until 11:30 a.m. Got to Virginia exactly at 11:30. Picked up the truck. All they had was a 15-foot U-Haul available for us. We took that up to the house, loaded it, packed it tight, and it still wasn't enough. Can you even believe it? It still wasn't enough. And so it was close, but it still wasn't enough. We came home last night, defeated, beaten. Lisa was in so much pain. Her back was bothering her. It's been the worst. And she went to bed and said, I'm just going to get up tomorrow morning and I'm going to take our van and I'm going to go up there and I'm going to get the rest of the stuff. Her and our daughter went up there today, cleared it all out. And she texted me at, let's see, it's probably easier to look at it here. Exactly 5:00. She texted me and said, we're leaving now for the last time. It was finally done. And so the reason why Lisa is not here is because she is on her way home for the last time from the house in Virginia. And when she gets here, I'm anticipating she will have the biggest smile on her face that I've ever seen. Even though I'm certain she is exhausted and beaten and just done, over it. The fact that it's done and there is no more going back except to get the kayaks, because I don't think she got those. But that's okay. We can go up there anytime and get those. They're at our neighbor. It's going to be fine. We'll go up there next time we go to see our son or something like that. It's done. It's over. There's no more going back. And so because of that, and because this has been such a long thing and we've been battling this for so long, I think that she is going to have the biggest smile on her face ever. Is she going to come in here and say hi? Because she will probably get home before the stream is over. Let me see where she's at. We have Life 360 on our phone, and it's not a weird thing. It's not so that, it's just so like I don't have to text her and say, where are you? Because she's not going to text me while she's driving. She's a smart person. She is, let's see where she's at. It's hard to tell. Okay, she's probably about 40 minutes from here. And I would imagine she will be so exhausted when she gets home. I don't think she's going to want to say hi. Maybe she will. I don't know. I don't think she will though. Because it's been the longest thing. And I tell you the thing that's the worst part about it And I think the only way you could truly understand this is if you're in our shoes. Being here, we haven't really been able to call this home yet. We haven't really settled in. I know, I have my office set up. I mean, I've been here 3 weeks. Lisa's been here 4 days. It hasn't really felt like home yet because we've had that burden of the house up there that still needed to be brought down here. Again, including the 7 aquariums, which we brought home yesterday. CJ and I, our youngest son, we unloaded everything today. While they were up there doing that, we unloaded the truck. And so all of the fish tanks are now finally in the fish house, which is a good thing, that they're all in there. And, now we don't have to worry about transporting fish or aquariums anymore. They're all there. Now, and again, I think this is going to be why Lisa will be so happy to get home. Now we can start. Now we can start to get the aquariums set up the way we want them. We can start, really refining things and getting things homey and I put a couple of things up on the wall today. I got my Superman picture and a couple of national stuff. This one actually is really super cool. It's a World Series. It's so hard to point at stuff on camera. It's a World Series plaque because, World Series 2019. And this one is the World Series MVP plaque for Steven Strasburg, World Series MVP. So I've got a few things hung up. Lisa's been spreading some things around, but it's just not been home. And now it finally can be. And this weekend, let me tell you how much I'm looking forward to this weekend. I don't have to go anywhere. And neither does Lisa. This entire weekend. It's going to be glorious. We're going to be here this whole weekend. We're not even going to know what to do with ourselves. If I'm guessing, I think we're probably going to do a lot of work in the fish room. Because it needs it. I mean, my video this weekend is going to be moving the tanks, and you're going to see the tanks in the condition that they're in right now. And they're not in the best because we've been so overloaded with moving and getting everything down here. The priority has been, okay, the fish are happy. The fish are healthy. Everything's okay. I did lose out of the blue a yellow lab the other day. I was like, what the heck? Just out of nowhere. One of the yellow labs passed. There's 60 of them in that tank. So, I'm glad I found that fish, but that was unfortunate. But that's, other than the rummy nose I talked about a couple of weeks ago, those are the only casualties that we've had, which is good, to be able to say that moving as many aquariums as we have, big tanks, big fish, to only lose a rummy nose in the trip. I considered that to be a huge success. And then we lost a yellow lab. Who knows? I mean, it was it was 2 weeks after moving. So I'm not going to blame that on the move. I think that, sometimes fish die. And I think that's what happened with the yellow lab. It just croaked. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. Keep fish long enough, it's going to happen. I consider it a success that we've only had that issue. But the fish room it's not anywhere even close to what I want it to look like. And it's going to take time, it's going to be one tank at a time kind of a thing. And that's, I think I'll show a lot of it on videos because there's going to be some that are, quite the overhaul. The 360 would be the big one because I'm going to add substrate. I want to get rid of the tree trunk that's in there, but I'm not going to because I get more compliments on that tree trunk than any other thing on our website, on our channel. It's absurd how many compliments, how many people put in the comments, oh my God, where did you get that? Did you dig it up out of the woods? What? So many compliments come from that. So I don't think I'm going to get rid of it. But the reason why I want to get rid of it is not because it doesn't look good. It's amazing. And when there's substrate in there, it's really going to look good. I want to get rid of it because the two plecos and Eric Furlow's biker hide behind it all the time. And I mean like that. I don't want to give fish a hiding spot if that's where they're always going to be. I hope that makes sense. You know, yellow labs, we're big time into African cichlids. I think everybody knows that. African cichlids, particularly Mbunas and Tanganyikan cichlids and stuff like that, they like to have those places to hide. And if you give them places to hide, that's where they're going to be. So what you do as an African cichlid keeper is you make these little hiding spots where you kind of trick the fish into believing that they're hiding, but you can see them. So they're not really out of sight. They are comfortable. They are hiding, but you can see them. So it's kind of like, haha, you think I can't see you, but I can see you. With this, that's not a thing. The only time I get to see the fish is if, this is funny, there's no substrate in that tank. So there's the reflection off the glass. I can look down and sometimes I can see the reflection of the fish under the log. The Furlow ornate biker, which I'm sorry, Eric, you know I love you, and you know I'm forever in your debt. I can't believe you even gave that fish to me. His name, I thought about naming him Furlow. Because of course I thought about naming him Furlow, but I just can't. And I think you'll understand why. If you've been following along for any length of time, you know that I named my two bikers Crab and Goyle. If you don't know who Crab and Goyle are, look them up. It'll be the first thing that pops up on Google. I promise. They're from Harry Potter. Why wouldn't I just say that? So there is no other name for the ornate biker than Draco. It has to be Draco because they're the trio. It's Draco, it's Crab, and it's Goyle. So his name, I'm sorry. If you want me to, Furlow, if you're still here, I can name him Draco Furlow, but his name has to be Draco. That's what it's going to have to be. And if you know that Slytherin trio, you know that Draco's the smallest, which is another reason why it's fitting to name that fish Draco, because that ornate biker is the smallest of the three. Crab is the fattest, just like in the movie, and Goyle is the tall, lanky one. So it's perfect. So anyway, Draco likes to hide behind that log, and it makes me so mad. He comes out every once in a while, and I get to, I get to spend a little time with him, and he's adorable. I just absolutely adore that fish. I don't want to make him scared and skittish and not feel comfortable in there, but I don't want to have a place for him to hide all the time. He's too pretty of a fish for that. So that's the reason why I want to take that log out. Because of the shape of that tree trunk, there's no way to block it off. The bottom would be blocked off by substrate when I put that in there, as long as the Oscars don't dig it up. But the back, it's not like a perfectly flat back. So there's always going to be openings and stuff like that back there. And the vampire pleco would be back there all the time because, how dare you, John? I mean, we talked about a lot of things that Sunday, Eric. I don't think we talked about Harry Potter, which if you spend an entire day with me, that surprises me that I didn't bring up Harry Potter, but I'm a Harry Potter fanatic. So, Crab, Goyle, and Draco, it's perfect because 90% of Potterheads that have three fish, what are they going to name them? Harry, Hermione, and Ron. I'm not going to do that. It was either going to be like Dumbledore, Snape. Snape's my favorite character from Harry Potter. And if I had a female, it could be, I'm drawing blanks now because I'm live in front of 44,000 people. But McGonagall, there you go. There's a lot of names, trios that you could have done. To me, it just fits. It's this. They look like underwater snakes, kind of slithering. You know what I'm saying? So crab, goyle, and Draco. So there is one thing that has happened over the last couple of, well, from yesterday. I got a free 125 and stand with fish, silver dollars, pleco catfish, and 2 bikers. Hello. There's crab and goyle right there. There you go. Or you could name them, oh my God. I'm horrible right now with these names. Fred and George, the Weasley twins. That would be perfect if you have 2. That's what I would have named them. I mean, I knew I was going to have an ornate biker at some point. It was the last fish that I wanted to name that fish. So, am I disturbing my dog? Nah, she's fine back there. And the other one's over there too. But I knew I was going to have 3, and so I couldn't have gone Fred and George. But anyway, yesterday when we were packing up the rest of the stuff and moving down here, I did find something that made me very, very happy. I talked with you about this. I don't want to say last week, 2 weeks ago during the stream. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cover this up because y'all aren't complaining. And every time the little stripe comes up that says YouTube is not receiving enough information, it really gets me off my game. So, does your puppy move at all? She does, but they're both lazy dogs. Both Chihuahuas. My boy is staring at me with his big, giant brown eyes. But she's a sleeper. Remember 2 weeks ago when I talked about the mass casualties that we had? Don't panic. If you didn't listen, if you weren't with us 2 weeks ago, not fish casualties, but glass casualties. I talked about how so many lids on my aquariums broke. When we got everything all set up, when me and Eric Furlow and Whips World and Eddie, when we got them all set up at 3 a.m. that Sunday morning, there were 3 lids missing from the 240s and 2 from the 360, couple from the 125s, couple from the 75s. I mean, there were so many lids that were we had this pile of glass, broken glass. And so when there was a lid missing, I was like, well, that must be where that is. But I was wrong. And I'm very happy about that. I found all 3 lids. My 240s are both 6 feet wide. And so they have 3, a little shy of 2 foot wide glass canopy lids. So what had happened was when the boys were helping me put the tanks together, they didn't know what lids went to what. And so there were 3 sets of lids, 3 lids for 240s. They put 2 of them on one 240 and 1 on the other. And they're like, well, the other 3 must have broken. And that's what I assumed too. But what I did not realize was, no, they were not broken. They were at the house still. And I remembered when we were getting that tank ready. In fact, I might even have video footage of this. I removed those lids and I put them off to the side and they never got put on the truck. So when I went to the house yesterday, all 3 of those lids were there. And I was like, oh, thank you. I could be wrong, but I do think one of the small lids, you know what I'm talking about. If you have glass canopy lids, there's a big piece of glass, and then there's a piece that's about 4 inches that you put on the little plastic hinge, and that's what you lift up to get inside the tank. One of those is missing. Might be broken, maybe not. If I don't find it, then it's deceased, but there's no gluing that together. So I'll probably have to order that. But all three 240s are covered. And the 360 has one entire lid missing, and then one of them, just the 4-inch piece. We've got a lot of glass that is not on these tanks, and it's really frustrating. And I haven't ordered them yet because, I've been a little busy. So that's one of those things that I am going to have to do. And I'll show you in the video on Sunday. I'm actually going to film the walking around explaining the story. I'm going to film that tomorrow. And I hate that because I'm somebody that's usually filming for a video 3 weeks from now or 4 weeks from now. And the fact that I'm filming 2 days before it uploads drives me crazy, but that's where we're at right now. And so I will be explaining that and talking about that whole deal. Where's Jasper? Jasper is an outdoor cat. She's never been an indoor cat. Well, for the 2 weeks that I was here by myself, I brought her in every once in a while, but no, she is an outdoor cat. They have a really nice house out there. And I say they because there's two, Jasper and Daryl. They're outside. That's where they live. That's where they've always been. They've never been, the family that had them before never let them in the house. So that's what they're used to. So, there you go. The saga of our move, our fish tank move, all of that. It's over, but it's not over. Like we've still got 1 million boxes to unpack and stuff is still in disarray. Of course it is, but at least it's moved. Well, there's a little bit in the van from Lisa and Kenzie right now when they get home. I don't think we're going to unload that tonight. I think that's going to be a tomorrow thing. So, we do have that kind of stuff left to do, but we are going to get to work in the fish room. I'm going to get to work on the beta system because the tanks are here and we are here. So it's time to start getting that thing going. I did make a decision, and it was one of those moments for me. Like, why didn't I think of that? Let's look at it this way. My 240 gallon aquarium that I got in 2020, I think it was, you could go back and see the video, and the yellow lab tank. When I first got that tank, I elected to do a DIY filtration system, and it worked great. I used two 29 gallon aquariums, did a video all about it, and it worked great until it didn't. And it wasn't the filter's fault. It was just the fact that the way it was set up was never going to work because it was never going to balance. There was always going to be one doing more. So I ended up removing that and replacing it with the seamless sump system from Custom Aquariums. Did a video about both of those things. Well, those 29 gallon aquariums that I was using in that tank, which filtered 240 gallons perfectly fine. The water was always crystal clear. They were in the way, those two 29 gallon aquariums. And a lot of you would be like, hey, you got two open 29 gallon aquariums. Why wouldn't you fill them up with stuff? I understand why you would ask that, but here's the thing. We knew this was coming. So we didn't want to set up a bunch of big tanks that we were eventually going to have to move. So what did we do with those two tanks? They went to storage. I drained them out completely and moved them to storage. But they're still there. No, well, wait a minute. They're not in storage anymore. They're in the fish house, but it's all still there. I did take the foam out of it to use in other filters, but it's there. The window diffuser is still in there. The Hygger biomedia is still in there. The filter socks are still in there. Two 29 gallon sump filters right there. So the decision was made. I'm going to use those to filter the beta system. I was originally going to do a 75 gallon. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll separate the two and have two 55s and never really using any kind of math, like how much of an aquarium do I need? It's just like, well, you want the biggest as possible. It's never bad to be too much. So I'll use 55 gallons. But then I was like, I could use those 29s. Think about it. The tanks themselves, the beta tanks, which a lot of people complained about them being small. There's nothing I can do about that. When I do videos and I show the beta tanks, people lose their minds. Like, oh my God, their tanks are so small. How dare you? Am I going to have to do another demonstration showing that it's 10 times as much water as what's in those little cups at Petco and PetSmart? These cups, which I use for Sharpies for work. I'm a frugal guy. What do you want from me? 10 times as much. There's about 2/3 or so of a gallon in each one of those tanks. But let's use simple math, because, you know, we don't fill those tanks all the way up. It's about a half a gallon in each tank. Is that enough for a beta? No, but is it enough for a beta that is being not stored, but cared for until it is sold? Yes. And it's way more than what most people have, which way more than what most beta retailers have. So I'm not ashamed of it at all. In fact, I'm quite proud of it. So let's just use simple math, a half a gallon, 300 tanks, a half a gallon in each one of those tanks. That's what? 150 gallons. I was filtering a 240 gallon with 60 yellow labs in it, and it was perfectly fine with those two 29 gallon tanks. Why wouldn't I be able to do 150 gallons? The answer is, of course I can. Of course, there is no problem with that. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a 29 gallon on each side of the room, which will, a lot of people made the comment about, yeah, this is what they do. Isn't it adorable? They lay with each other, and you know what they do all the time? They become the yin yang sign. It's the cutest thing. You'll see it tonight at some point. They will get it. It's the cutest thing. They'll get in a perfect little ball, and it's half brown and half white, and it looks like the yin yang sign, or it looks like our original logo, which is on that coffee mug between Lisa and I's bobbleheads. That coffee mug, a gift from my friend Paul Martin. A lot of people commented, don't you think it would be better to do the two systems this way? If one of the fish gets sick, it's not going to spread it across all of them. Yes, that's a good point. But that's not why I'm doing it, because, you know, we buy our betas from places that, you know, we don't have a lot of them that get really sick. Sometimes they do. Usually the problems that we have with betas is their fins. You know, they nip at their fins and stuff like that. Or they might sprout a tumor. That's not a contagious thing. So we don't run into a lot of contagious problems that these betas have. So it's not something that I'm concerned with, but it's a reality that it can happen. One fish can get sick in a recirculating system, and it can affect the others. It can certainly happen. So yeah, you know, it'll only be half the system if that happens, but I'm doing it more for safety and efficiency and everything else. If one pump goes out, it's not the entire system. It's only half. If one heater goes out, I could keep giving you examples, but you know what I'm saying. If something goes wrong, it's only going to affect half the system. The other half will be fine. So, but also, it's smaller. One's on one end, one's on the other. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just going to be, overall, I think it's going to be more efficient. It may look a little bit better, and there you go. That's why I'm making that decision. Instead of two pumps and all of this plumbing going into one location, it'll be spread out across, you know, won't be as crowded in there. So all I have to get at this point is PVC, which I will be painting black. That's going to be fun. And before you say, John, just buy black PVC, I can't find it anywhere. I know it's there. I've seen it, but I can't find it. And plus, it'll have the red lettering and everything on it anyway. So I'd end up wanting to paint over that. So I will just buy white and paint it. I'll use Krylon or something like that and paint it. I don't mind. So I got to get the PVC. I need to get some pumps. I have a couple of older CJs. I think they're 1,200 gallons an hour, GPH. I think. I'm not certain. But I want to. Okay. See, I made the mistake of looking at that. Hopefully everything is okay. I want to get brand new pumps. I'm going to talk to my boy, Jay Wilson, about that. Not because he's going to give them to me for free. He may, I don't know, but I'm not going to ask him for them for free. But Jay Wilson is a rep for CJ, if you don't know. He's not a guy that's just like, talk to me and I'll give you free stuff. It's not like that. He works for CJ, and I have a very, very good relationship with CJ. And so, you know, something like that may happen, but that's not the goal. It's more, I'm going to talk to him. This is what I'm doing. What kind of pump? Because they have pumps for everything. Because if you want to move water, CJ is the one to do it. On the topic of CJ, the buzz is already starting to happen. People are already starting to talk. People are already sending me questions about the Shark Pro. I don't know why I didn't think about it. I have one. I have one in my possession, not currently, but I have one here at the house. It's in the fish room. I got to tell you, folks, I love this filter. And I'm not saying that to be a salesman. I think you all know me well enough to know that if I love something, if I tell you I love it, I love it. I'm not being a salesman. That filter, I've known about that filter for a long time. I'll tell you how long. We opened our website back up again. We had shut it down from 2017, mid 2017. We shut it down. We started it back up again in 2020. And one of the first products I picked up was the Shark ADV, and we sell a ton of them. We've sold literally thousands of the Shark ADVs. Love that filter. When I first picked those up, I called up Jay because, like I said, he's a rep for CJ. And I said, hey, what do you think about those sharks? I need to get me some of those sharks. I don't need you to give them to me. I need to get them to sell on the website. So he hooked me up with the distributors and all of that kind of stuff. He told me then that the Shark Pro was coming out almost 2 years ago. And so I have been in anticipation of these Shark Pros forever. And I shouldn't say that. I don't want to get Jay in trouble, but Jay was telling me things about that filter for a while because, you know, he would talk to Italy and he would call me up and he'd be like, dude, you're not going to believe this. It has this and it has that. And so him and I have been talking about this filter for a long time, and the anticipation for us has been huge. And to finally have it now is amazing. My God, I just wish it had come at a different time, because I got that filter delivered to me like while this whole thing was happening, which it's made it really, really tough to just really sit down and really go through it. But I can tell you this, we got a lot of them coming because, it's a no-brainer. It's the biggest no-brainer ever. If you are an internal filter person, there has never been a bigger no-brainer. The Shark ADV is a great filter. The Shark Pro is, I don't want to say next level. The Shark Pro is like going from a $300 Dell laptop that you bought at Walmart. Not a bad computer, really good computer, but has its limitations. It's like going from that to a maxed out Mac Pro. If you're into computers, then you understand that reference. It is unbelievable, this filter. And it's going to change the game. I'm debating on whether we'll continue selling the ADVs because I don't think anybody's going to want them when they see this new one. How's that for being honest? I mean, listen, we still have a lot of Sharks in our inventory. We just ordered some more. They're coming. I love the ADVs. We've sold a ton of them and we'll continue to sell them. But when people see this Pro, they are going to, it's going to be a no-brainer of a decision. A $300 Dell. They're out there. I used to have them. I mean, I remember when that was like a big deal for me. Go out and get a $300 Dell. So listen, the Shark Pro, I don't want to go too much into it because I don't have the filter in my hands to show you. Maybe I'll go through it next week. Obviously, I'm going to be doing a video about it. I'm in the middle of, I don't want to say testing it, using it. I mean, I'm in the middle of using it right now. And it has not disappointed. And every single thing that was ever complained about with the Shark has been resolved with this filter. Silent Venturi system, which is amazing. The spray bar, folks, come on. The spray bar is ridiculous on that filter. The cartridges being individual cartridges that if one clogs, it will not affect the performance of the filter. Well, it'll affect the performance, but it will not shut the entire filter down. The other cartridges will pick up the load. The versatility that it has, the fact that you can put it sideways or vertical, just like you did with the ADV, the fact that there's no suction cups is a gorgeous thing. They went the reef route and used the magnetic attachment to attach it to the glass, which is, so amazing. It is, let me tell you something. You could, this is going real deep here, folks. This is going kind of personal here. Okay. And we just bought a house, biggest expense we've ever had in our life. We bought a house for our family, but also for our business and all of that. So, we're freaking out about that a little bit. The amount of inventory I'm ordering of the Shark Pros is more than the down payment that I put down on this house. I ain't BSing you. I almost said the real thing. You could buy a very nice automobile for what it's costing us to buy the inventory that we're going to be holding of these Sharks. But it's absolutely worth it because we know that they're going to sell. And one of the biggest problems that we had when we bought the ADVs, I think I bought like 12 of each, the 400, 600, and 800. Because I was like, this is a brand new thing. We don't have a whole lot of money to buy inventory. Let me start off with 12. The problem that we had was we couldn't keep them in stock because we couldn't buy enough of them. And when this was after we did our video on it, and because the hype started building about that ADV, because I did a video about it, Jimmy did a video about it, a couple other YouTubers did videos about them. The hype was really building. Everybody else was ordering those ADVs. So they were hard for us to get. The folks in Italy were calling Jay and saying, what's going on? What's happening with these Sharks? Why is everybody buying them all of a sudden? And he was like, I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. It was a frenzy and it was hard to have them. And I know that we lost tons and tons and tons of sales because we would be out of stock of them. And so I wanted to make sure that was not going to be an issue with the Shark Pro. And we've ordered already. They're on their way to us. We ordered a lot. And like I said, you could buy like a nice Toyota Corolla. just saying. I like the look of the ADV better than the Pro. Yeah, it is a huge departure from the original design of that ADV. And I can understand that the boxiness of it might be a turnoff for a lot of people. It's not for me, because I think the fact that it is the color that it is and that it is square, I think it could be hidden a little easier than the blue. I think the Shark ADV is a good looking filter. It's very, I think I may have even said it in the video I did about it. It's very Apple looking. It looks like a fine piece of equipment, and it is. The Pro looks really good. It looks very modern. It looks really neat, but it's not as artistic looking, because the Shark ADV has that kind of egg shape if you look at it from the top, which is unique and interesting. And then it's the blue color, which I love blue. But this new one though, what you may not like, and who was it that said that? Because I want to make sure I give credit. Did I miss it? Whoever it was that said you like the look of the ADV better. I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is what you dislike about the look of the Pro, the efficiency of it makes up for that. You know what I mean? Because the ADV is a great filter. Everything comes in from the bottom. And so if you have a clog in that sponge, you're blocking everything. The Pro brings everything in from the sides. And that's a completely different flow. That's a completely different operation. And so you may not like the look of it as much as the ADV, but from a performance standpoint and an efficiency standpoint, I think that will outweigh the looks. You know what I mean? The Pro is by no means an unattractive filter. Did I just make a word up? Is there such thing as unattractive? Why wouldn't I have just said ugly? I don't want to say ugly because that's not the right word to use, because it's not ugly. It's not at all. But it looks very different than the ADV. But like I said, the performance of it far outweighs the looks. And I think you can hide it better. You can stick it in the corner. You can put it up on the top. You can put it wherever you want to put it. And I think that will make it blend in to the back. Just saw the Shark Pro commercial. I'm thinking for my 10-gallon tanks. Commercial? Is that the one on the CJ Instagram? Unattractive is a word. Okay, thank you, Zen. Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait to do a video about it. But my problem is, and I was actually talking to Jay about this. Jay Wilson and I are good friends. We talk every week, a couple times. And we talked about it, and he was like, well, let me tell you what I said first. I said, people are starting to do videos about this, and this is a problem because there's going to be this hype. Like Michael's Fish Room did a video about it. You're welcome, Mike, by the way. And I think Reef Builders did a video about it, or maybe they did a blog post or something. I don't know. But people are starting to talk about it is the point. And Jay did the thing for CJ. Everything that you see on social media for CJ is Jay Wilson that does that. And I'm like, isn't this going to be a problem? Because you're building this hype, but nobody can get them. They're not available yet. And Jay was like, well, what if we treated it like Apple and Samsung, and why don't we do a pre-order kind of thing? And I'm like, I suppose that could be done. And so I have thought about doing that, but I don't want to have a pre-order thing until I know when I'm going to get them. And right now it's like, should be a couple weeks. Well, that's not good enough for me. I want to know. I think they're on the water right now from Italy to us, not directly to us, but to the distributors who will then send it to us. You see, look, there it is. There's the yin yang symbol. You see it? Once I know, like, okay, I'm going to have them on the 18th, then I might do a pre-order. But it's also the reason why I haven't like talked about it on social media or done any of those things. First of all, I've been moving. It's been a lot. But then also, you know, I have to look at it as from a business standpoint, don't I? I mean, listen, I'm a guy that will tell you, buy from whoever you want to buy. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It's fine. I'm not a salesman. I'm not trying to sell you. But I certainly would love for you to buy it from me. And I think that what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of people, and I don't blame them. They're going to be like, the first place that has them, I'm going to buy them from them. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I want to be able to have happen is I can do a video. Generally, that results in people saying, oh, I want that. I want to go get it. I want to have them for them. I don't want to do a pre-order thing. That just makes me feel weird. I'm holding on to somebody's money for something I don't have yet. I don't like that. It makes me feel oogie inside. So, but anyway, the Shark Pro's coming. It's on a boat as we speak, I think, I hope. And it's going to be amazing. I believe that when you look at internal filters across the board, whether it be Aquatop, Aqueon, Fluval, the CJ Shark, the reason why I have the Shark ADV on my website is because I believe that is the best internal filter, period. Until this one comes out. When this one comes out, it will, hands down, without any debate, it will be the best internal filter in the hobby. And guess what? My beautiful wife is home. She's home. I don't think she's going to come in and say hi. If she does, that'll be a treat for everybody. But she's home. And I'm very sad that I don't get to see that smile that I was telling you, I promise, is on her face. I don't even know where she's at. See, the nice thing about this office that I have is that I have 5 windows right here. And if it was daylight, I'd be able to see where she is. But it's dark outside. I can't see where she's at. But my windows look out onto the, like I can see my barn right out that window. I can see the fish house out that window. And the driveway is right in front of me. I hear doors shutting, but I can't see if anybody's here. But I know she's here. And I really hope she comes in and says hi. She probably has this stream on her phone. But is she going to come in and say hi? I don't think so. But I could be wrong. Let's all cross our fingers. And let's hope that she comes in and says hi. So until that happens, let me get to this. Good grief. David Martin, hello, guys. Been missing you both. I wish it was both of us that were here, but sorry, it was just me today. Next week, that should change. And oh, by the way, called up my buddy Elon Musk the other day. I've never met Elon Musk. He's not my friend. I just act like it because it's fun. I ordered a second Starlink system for the fish house. And Elon said, his website said, they should be shipping in 2023. So we might be streaming from this room for a while. I hope not, but it's ordered. And last time it was telling me second half of 2022, and it got to me in early spring of 2022. So hopefully they're wrong in their estimates. Supply chain That's the whole thing. That's why they're delayed. So we will stream from there because I know this system works, even though I keep getting these notifications from YouTube and it drives me crazy. I know that it works. And is she? Is she? She might already be in the bathtub. I mean, this woman has busted her butt for 2 months straight. And I think tonight is going to be the first night that she's just going to finally crash. Rico Stan said, a small token of my appreciation. The amount is not indicative of the size of the appreciation. Not going to read into that in any way. Thank you, Rico. Don't know if you're still here. Hope you are. That was very nice of you. Donna Horton. Hello, John. My little princess Oscar passed away. No. That's unfortunate. Never like hearing that. Never like hearing any fish pass away. But everybody knows the attachment that I have to Oscars. And if they pass away, that is, I don't like to hear that. That makes me sad. I'm very sorry to hear that. Lone Star Aquamom, congrats on the move. Thank you so much for that. Furloughs Aquatics, weekly contribution to my two favorite people, even though Lisa isn't there. Yeah, thank God for her, because if it wasn't for her, there wouldn't be any of that kind of stuff, because nobody likes me. Let's be real. Callan Shepard, congrats on the successful move and your son's graduation. I bet you and Lisa are exhausted. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, this weekend, I am so looking forward to this weekend because for the first time, I'm going to wake up, and I'm probably not going to wake up till like 9:30, and that's late for me. I don't know about y'all, but I'm old. So a lot of times, 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Saturday, I'm up. I'm figuring out what I'm going to do. I've not been able to do that for almost 3 months. I've had to get up on Saturday, and it's been, boom, I got to go do this and got to do that. I'm going to enjoy waking up about 9:30 on Saturday and say, what am I going to do today? Who knows? I'm really looking forward to that. Can't wait for it. As a matter of fact, Rustic Nashville came in twice, and I don't know if that was a glitch because it is the same text 2 times in a row with $20 attached to both of them. Rustic Nashville. Did that happen on accident? I don't think YouTube has given us the ability to refund Super Chats yet. I would certainly do it if that was a mistake, and I would feel horrible if that happened. But you are the sweetest ever. Not only have you bought 39 betas from us, probably more than that, but now you're sending all of this. I don't know what we've done to deserve you. Thank you so much for that. Fish Tank Barn, you and U-Haul ought to be friends by now. You should have frequent flyer miles. Yeah. I should own one of those U-Haul trucks by now. She's right there. Are you going to come in? She's going to say hi.
I'm a mess. Am I on?
Yep. There's the screen.
Hey.
You take over.
I'm so tired. That was a crazy day. We went in there and just like knocked it out, just completely knocked it out. And I was a little concerned about something that you mentioned. I was listening when we were driving.
When I said you had to go get naked and...
No. You were talking about those lids that you found. Mm-hmm. Did you bring them back? Mm-hmm. Because we threw some out. I was like, oh no.
What do you mean you threw some out?
There were some down in the basement still, and I was making a junk pile of, just to take and throw stuff away on the dump trailer.
I think those were for the discus tank.
Oh.
She threw away her discus lids.
But you said, I remember you saying, I'm going to order new lids.
Yeah. And I've been meaning to order lids for that tank forever.
If you could see the back of that van, you would be like, whoa.
I don't want to see it.
We put anything and everything. Like I put everything in boxes, taped it up, put it in stuff, and it's just jam-packed. It's jam-packed.
I ain't dealing with it till tomorrow.
Well, there's something I do want to get out tonight, though.
Yeah, I know what that is. But
Wow.
you're finally home.
Oh, yeah. Sorry I'm late. I had to go pee.
You're home. This is your first time you're actually home.
I know. And I don't have to go back. It was kind of a sad moment because I said bye to the house, and David came over for a few minutes and I gave him a hug. So it was a little sad, but it's going to be okay. It's good that the move part is over with, though, so now I can focus on all that fun stuff, and
Now we can actually officially
unpack
begin
and
our new chapter.
Yep. So anyways, I'm going to go now. Bye, you guys. Sorry, I'll be here next week because I really wanted to be in the live stream tonight. I told John, I was so excited yesterday. I was like, oh, it's going to be over. Tomorrow we'll have the live stream. I'm so excited. And then this happened. So, but yeah, I'm excited about next Wednesday for the members because I feel so bad for you guys. And then Thursday for everybody. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to have my own spot. This is not the spot I'm going to be in. It'll be a new spot. So
She'll be over there. I'll be over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a good night. Bye.
That was a surprise. I'm surprised that she came by to say hi. That usually she would be like, my eyes aren't done right or whatever. And, one of those things. But I'm glad she's home. I'm glad that saga is over. Yeah. That's a huge relief. And I don't even mind that we have to unload the truck tomorrow. I mean, how many trucks have I unloaded over the last month? It's been absurd. So, whew, what a relief. So yeah, fish tank barn. I'm sure Mike's still not here, but yeah, I should own one of those U-Hauls by now. I could have practically bought one for as much as I've spent renting those daggone things. I wish they had a frequent flyer mile program. Deborah222 became a member. Welcome to the team. We will, I promise, be streaming next Wednesday. Unless something catastrophic happens, we will be streaming next Wednesday. Back on track with the member streams. I mean, it's just been, what we had yesterday. That's why we weren't able to do it. And the week before, I don't remember. I don't remember what happened the week before, but it's just been one thing after another. But finally, things are going to start to get back on track. We can develop our new routine, and it's going to be great. I can't wait for it. And next Wednesday, we will be streaming for members, 11 a.m. Eastern, Wednesday morning. Put it on the calendar. It will happen. I promise. Leslie Perry, I know you're excited about this move, but isn't it just a little bittersweet? Our last move was so exhausting that my husband saw our next move. I'm sorry, I have to move this over. Will be to the nursing home. I have got to tell you something. I don't know if I have said this publicly yet. I think I have. I think I said it in the last stream I did. There is a cemetery in the back of our property, in the very, very back corner of our property. Because that's what we do. That's what the South does. You don't see a lot of that in Virginia, but as soon as you cross that border into North Carolina, you see gravestones in everybody's backyard. It's wild. Not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. I've told Lisa, that's my next move. That's where I'm going. It's actually, I'm pointing over there, but it's actually over there. That's my next move. I'm moving again. If we just like everything bombs and we go broke and we go bankrupt, they're going to have to pull me out of this house. And when they do, I'm going to say, well, you get to deal with all that stuff because I ain't moving again. The only other way that I move from this property, first of all, I love this place. This is my dream. It's not a palatial estate. It's not like some big thing in Beverly Hills or something like that, which if you want my honest opinion, it's better than what you would find in Beverly Hills, but you understand what I'm saying. It's not some, massive palatial estate. but it's my dream and I absolutely love it. And I am fulfilling my dream here by being here. So it's not only that's why I want to stay, but also I do not want to go through the moving process again. The only way I could see ever moving from here is if we were to become way rich and I could just say, all right, call that company, because guess what? I ain't carrying one thing, not a thing. I'm not even carrying my toothbrush. If we're going to move, it's all getting moved by someone else. That's the only way I'll do it. I have no interest in ever leaving this house, but maybe Lisa and I get up in our 70s and we're like, daggone, this is too much. We can't keep up with it. And we want to downsize, and maybe I would hope we've retired by then and we'll get a small place on the water or something. Okay, maybe, but I ain't doing it. Especially if I'm in my 70s. Are you crazy? No. It's the only way is either having somebody move it or me get moved into the backyard. That's the only way it'll ever happen. It's definitely bittersweet. But now that we're at the place we are, where everything's here, we can take a deep breath and we can actually start to enjoy it. And I'm also quite happy that I don't have to talk about it anymore. You've probably been thinking, good grief, all John's been talking about for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, is this move. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been occupying my life. And I'm really happy that we can move on and talk about something else now, for crying out loud. Dragon sent, what a cool name. Who would have thought that would have even been available on YouTube? Sent a celebratory pair going, what are those things called? Thank you so much for that. Travis Breckenridge, so glad to hear y'all are finally home. Oh, brother, me too. Cannot even express how happy I am. Stephen P. 2003, I'm not going to say it. Congrats on the move. Thank you, my friend. I hope you didn't hear what I said about green screen stuff last week and got offended. There was no offense intended by that. I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't talking about anybody in particular. But your name came up. If you want to know what I'm talking about, if you did not catch last week's stream, just go to like the last half hour and you'll find it. It's nothing to worry about. I was not speaking badly about you or anybody like that. I was just talking about how I don't want to use a green screen for my live streams. And somebody brought your name up. Independently wealthy. Yeah. If I was independently wealthy and I had, you know what to call it, right? I had FU money, then I'll move. Again, I'm not carrying a thing. I won't even carry my car keys out to the car to drive myself to the next place. The movers will carry my car keys to the truck, put them in a little box, tape it up, label it, and carry it out and leave it on the seat of the car. And I will walk with absolutely nothing in my hands. And I will sit down in the car, open the box, take the keys out, and drive away. That's the only way I'm ever going to move again. Oh, I heard it, and I'm absolutely furious, John. I'm sorry. He's bigger than me too. He could definitely take me in a fight. So I'm really sad about that, Stephen P. I'm sorry. But whatever, you're a rascal. I know you're not bothered by that. Bird Garden, there he is. And I talked about him earlier. How weird is that? Welcome home, sailor. Thank you, my friend. My son is going to be a sailor in just a couple of months. Rack, you got to come see us. I know, you're not hardcore into all of this YouTube stuff anymore and the fish tanks and all that kind of stuff. Scott put a video out, I think today, about getting rid of his last tank. And that was sad to see. Completely understandable. The reason why I bring up Scott is because Rack, Scott, and I and all of our wives hung out one weekend, Lisa's birthday. So we're kind of a trio, the three of us. And I'm the only one left. But yeah, that's very sad. But I completely get it. Rack is completely consumed by birds now, which I am too, Rack. I need to have a conversation with you about martins. I want to start a purple martin colony in my yard. I'm aware I might need to wait till next year, and that's fine. We might need to talk about that rack, because I assume that you're a Purple Martin guy because you know birds. But anyway, let me move on here so I don't lose time. We've got 5 minutes left. Whip's World. There he is. Nature, nurture, heaven, and home, son of all, and by them driven to conquer every mountain's shown, but I've never crossed the river. Why does he do this to me? I'm live in front of 58,392 people right now, and you put me on the spot like that. I'm just going to say it. I don't know what that's from. You stumped me, and I'm ashamed of myself, and it hurts my feelings. Shame on you. Shame on you for 2 weeks ago driving halfway across the country to help somebody out and not ask for anything in return. And now you're going to offend me this way by saying something, and I can't put my brain around what that's from. It really bothers me. He does this to me every week. He stumped me this week. Regina Phalanges, you're in big, big trouble. Because I told you last time this has to stop. You cannot do this anymore. And you went and did it anyway. New discus tank lid fund for Lisa. You know what? The lids on that 125. You've probably seen 125s. You get them one of two ways. They either have 3 openings, 3 small openings, or 2 large openings. This one is one that has 2 large openings, but the size is weird. It's a 125 gallon tank that is just a little different size than like the Top Fin or the main brands that you would see out there. And it's hard to find the lids for it. So I could probably get them made by Custom Aquariums. I haven't asked them about it yet, but it's been one of those things that's been on the list for so long to get, and I just haven't gotten them, and I feel really bad about it. The tank is covered. The discus are not jumping out, but it's just not the best situation out there, and it really bothers me. We have no choice but to take care of it now because Lisa threw the lids away. Ryan Johnston, has anyone ever told you that Primetime Aquatics looks like a hillbilly version of you? And Lisa, keep up the great content. I love so much that you said that. I think that is amazing. Because I would actually think that people would probably look at it the other way. They would, we got this couple. Jason's up there with the bald head and the full glorious beard with all the tattoos. And they're in Chicago. And we're down here. We were in Virginia, but now we're in North Carolina. We don't live in the hills. We live in a completely flat part of North Carolina. But I would think I'd be the hillbilly. I'm offended that I'm not the hillbilly. How dare you say that Jason is the hillbilly version? I'm a hillbilly version of him. That's the way it is. But, I think that's hilarious that you said that, though. I think that's funny. I can't wait to tell him that. Jennifer Anderson for Lisa's bubble bath. Oh, Lordy. It used to be, back in the house in Virginia when I was in the garage, our bedroom was directly above the garage. Here, our daughter's room is above the garage. No, it's above me. The bedroom for Lisa and I's bedroom is on the opposite side of the house. And it's in the new addition to the house. We didn't put it on. It was built in the 90s, but the newest portion of the house up on the second floor of there. So, but she's probably in the bath now. No, she's probably feeding all the cats first, but yeah. She's going to appreciate that very much. But wait a minute. Yep, that's from Jennifer Anderson. I got confused because Nicole Pribenow, I hope I'm saying that right, came in and contributed more for Lisa's bubble bath, and that confused me. Thank you so much for that. I'll make sure I pass that right along to her. Whip's World with the $5 hi, John, after he offended me with the thing that I cannot get. I'm going to have to text him and find out what he was talking about. Our Aquatic Universe with Mike B. $20. Goodness gracious. Hi, John and Lisa. New chapter, new memories will be made, and even more history will be added to the story of your new home. Well deserved. We are all truly happy for you both, and thank you for sharing your journey with us. thank you for saying that. I did have a little bit of worry that that perhaps people would get a little burnt out and a little bored of like, okay, enough of these videos. But the thing that I'm seeing regularly commented on those videos is I am living vicariously through you. And that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, that's not why we're doing it. We're not show offs. We're not flexers. We're not those people. But if that's how people are taking it, like they're living vicariously through us, that's awesome. And I don't know what it is that, well, oh yeah, I was worried that maybe it would be a little bit too much, but you know, apparently people are enjoying it. And, the 2 videos that I've done, 3. The first one was the walkthrough. The second one was the floor of the fish house. The third one was the beta house. They've done well for us. So I guess people are interested. So I'm really happy about that. Jay Smart, last minute, whatever fund. Good grief. Thank you so much for that. It's not whatever to us. It is a very big thank you from us. I promise you. The Humbling River of Pussifer. That's not a bad word, folks. That is the name of a band. And again, it's always with the Maynard lyrics. It's always with the Maynard lyrics that he comes out with. So next time he says anything that sounds like somebody that's tripping on acid, I'm going to say, well, that's another Maynard lyric. It has to be from one of his 3 multi-platinum bands. Yeah, it happened again. Did you see that? Don't even try this with me. It is not a ghost. I'm going to show them to you. I have a 12-inch Heisenberg, and he usually has glasses, and they fell off, and they're right there. I got to get them so the dogs don't chew them up. This is a really cool Breaking Bad Walter White Heisenberg figure, but he doesn't stand up very well. I know you can't see him right now, but I'm standing him up. He falls all the time. So don't go giving me this crap that it's a ghost in the back of the... No, it's not. It's this guy's fault. And he fell right on top of Hector, and he knocked over, what's his name? He knocked over Saul and Gus Fring. Shame on you. Anyway, yeah, he falls all the time. And I was actually organizing them earlier. I moved Walter White and Jesse forward. I don't know if you can see them. They're in the yellow jumpsuits, hazmat suits. I moved them around and I must have jostled him. And now, while I'm live in front of 84,000 people, he decides to fall. It's not a ghost. Don't you dare. I got to get through these real quick. Good grief. I'm already impeding on Fisherman Fever's time, and I don't like doing that. Evan Rifkin, is Lisa's tank one of those old 120s from the 90s? They got the same footprint as a 125, but are like an inch shorter and have 2 big lids. Yes, that's exactly what it is, Evan. And it has the fake wood trim, which I painted black. It's a great tank, but yeah, it's just a little off. Pam Husak, $5 for the relaxing fund. Thank you so much for that. Boy, are we going to enjoy it. And I might eat an entire large pizza by myself and enjoy every minute of it because time check. Yeah, I got you, Zen. I'm sorry. This, I get to run in my mouth. Echo Delta, small donation to that fund. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all spoil us so much. Lefty says, I caught the vid from the kid at work. Sorry, I missed the stream. Been very tired, so I've been lazy bones and sleeping most of the week. Ouch. I wonder what that feels like. I can't wait to do that myself. Loki-I, because isn't that what it's supposed to be when there's 2 I's at the end? EI, with the $5 hiya. Thank you so much for that. And then wrapping it up tonight is Whips World. I have a shirt for you if you tell me the size. 2X. 2X for now. I've dropped 15. I'm working on it. I told y'all a couple of weeks ago that it's going to start going down because I have no choice. I haven't missed 10,000 steps in a while. So, you know, an extra large will be the one for me here very, very soon. 2X is just feels a little looser for me and feels a little more comfortable. But you know, hopefully in the next month or so, it'll be the extra large will be what I need. But anyway, folks, listen, I have impeded on Fisher & Fever's time enough as it is. And I know he's getting sick of that. He's never complained once to me about it, but I would if I were him. So I have to get off of here. I got to say, E90 Austin, thank you so much for more Bubbleheads and Maynard albums. Bobbleheads. I had Bubble in my mind because Bubble Bath for Lisa. Bobbleheads and Maynard albums. If I could get a bobblehead or just a figure of Maynard from Woodstock in that like pink onesie that he was wearing with his wild hair and the way he was just like all weird, look it up. Just look up Sober. It's the song Sober. Woodstock 1995 or 99, whichever one it was. That was, yeah, I would love to get like a figure or a bobblehead. A bobblehead would look weird of Maynard for that, but a figure of him, that's Maynard at his finest. He was wild back then, but, yeah, bobbleheads and Maynard albums. Love it.
Could you say that again?
No.
I'm having trouble hearing you.
No, it's okay, Siri. Thank you. Victoria Lee Creates vomited on me because she knows I'm a vomophobe. She must know that I am a vomophobe. But hey, listen, folks, that's it for me tonight. I have to sign off here. I've got to go give my wife a kiss and welcome her home. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and tolerating me running my mouth. I promise we're going to get into more substance next week. And don't miss, if you're a channel member, next Wednesday, 11 a.m., we will be doing the members only live streams again. I have to get out of here. Head over to Fish Room Fever and watch his stream with Ed. I think Ed's with him tonight. It'll be a lot of fun. And make sure you put in the chat, hashtag John says sorry for stepping on his toes this long. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Thank you so much to the mods for helping me out. And I will see you next week. We will see you next week.